Hi, good afternoon everybody. Going for a walk. Now, before I go, I want to just say thank you. I've got a lovely book here by Glennie Kindred, Walking with Trees, and a lovely little note inside. Just put the camera down for a tick. Now this is just very spur of the moment, and it's from Deirdre. Okay, so thank you very much, Deirdre. I'm going to enjoy that book immensely. So, I thought I'd take you just with me on this little jaunt. Come on, Jack. I'm taking Jack down the road for a walk. No, I'll just make sure I've got my keys. Keys, please. Okay. Now, please don't be worried about Jack not being on a lead, because I have trained him. He's very well trained, and you'll see what I mean when and if a car appears. Jack, come here. So I've spent a great part of the day, because it's about 3:45 now, spent a great part of the day cleaning up around the back of the lodge, and what else have I been doing? Oh God, all kinds of little things, you know, and observing masses and masses of butterflies. And just as I speak, look, there's one up there. Can you see it? So there's lots of butterflies around at the moment, and also quite a lot of moths at night. And it seems to me, because I've been kind of recording this over the past 15 years anyway, since I've been here, August seems to be a time for the butterflies and the moths. And also, round about March or April, if the weather warms up, you can get quite a lot of butterflies around. So it's very interesting, the cycles, you know, because if you're not aware of the cycles, if you don't observe things, then what's going to happen is that people are going to panic and say, you know, in the middle of June, oh, there's no butterflies. But each distinct area, like I live here in the west of Ireland, would have a very seasonal approach to, you know, the kind of life cycles. So anyway, I thought I'd pass that information on. Gosh, I've just seen the shadow of a butterfly pass in front of me. Still working on the pond. Also, I noticed up round the back of the cottage today, and I ran to get the camera, but I was too late. I noticed some beautiful dragonflies, you know, mayflies as they're called, but I think the proper term is dragonflies, isn't it? Massive ones, quite beautiful. Well, overall there doesn't seem to be any shortage of insects or mammals or birds here at Bealtaine Cottage. There's absolutely loads of them. So I think what's happened, you know, with all the reporting of it, is that there's been a big confusion, a big mix-up between climate change and man's destruction of Mother Earth. And I would suggest that the really big problem is man's destruction of Mother Earth and destruction of habitat for all the other life forms that should be allowed to coexist with us, but our arrogance prevents that from happening. And of course it's all coming now to a culmination, you know. See, there's these beautiful bees, look, in and around these flowers. Even though they've actually pollinated quite a lot of the flowers. I was very aware of the goddess this morning as well when I was working out the back. And quite often that's the case. Of course, when I say the goddess, I mean the life force that is Mother Earth. I personify her by referring to her as the goddess, which of course to me she is. Jack, come here. So also noticing along here, little bits of buddleia that I planted. Wild angelica, that's a beautiful plant. And there's some of the hypericum that I planted in there earlier this year. Well, earlier this summer. And there we have the wild honeysuckle. Some beautiful views. Ah, now there's Jack settled down. Did you see that? He just stayed down and didn't even come out. Good boy, Jack. He's having a celebratory pee now. Jack, come here. You are a very good boy. Yes, very intelligent and very well behaved. He loves getting praise. Come here. So there's Slieve and Erin over there. The mountain of the Tuath de Danann. And Kilronan Mountain. And if you follow the mountains, because there's a whole series of them, the Erigna Mountains, if you follow them all the way up the valley, this is a valley over here, there's a road that goes along the bottom of the valley. And that will take you into Sligo. And Drumshambo is over here at the base of the mountain. There's a beautiful big loch, which of course you can't see because there's hills in between this and that. And that's Loch Allen. It's a very long loch. And find it on the map, Google Earth. It's worth having a look. Jack, let's have a look at some of the blackberries here. Look at this, masses and masses of blackberries. Remember I said that it was going to be a good harvest this year, and certainly it is. So the wild harvest, the harvest that you can go out and forage, is very bountiful. And look at this in the hedgerow. This is hazel, you see? Little hazel growing in there. Lots of flowers and herbs and ferns and brambles and goat willow and meadowsweet and horsetail and blackthorn and even wild roses. Look, this is the Rosa canina, see? You know, you can tell the age of a hedgerow, by the number of different plants in it, the number of different species. So this hedgerow is very old. Several hundred years old, I'd suggest. And there, look, there's a little carder bee on that flower. And then this is the wild vetch. This is the vetch, which the bees love. Absolutely adore that. And there you have the meadowsweet. More wild angelica. I'm not too sure of the name of this plant, but the flowers this year have been beautiful. And there you can see another little bee. That's a tiny bee. Tiny, tiny little bee on there. She says, "Get that camera out of my face." Isn't that beautiful? It's quite a cloudy sky. So, looking forward to more rain. Blessed rain. Look at this, there's more buttercups out here. And lots of beautiful clover. Look at the clover. Now the cows that are normally in this field, I think they've gone down. Probably down into the other fields. Can't see them at the moment. So we'll walk on. This is a mile walk from the cottage door down, right down to the T-junction at the end of this little lane, and then back again, because from the cottage door to the T-junction is half a mile. I measured it in the car, so it gives me a very good sort of way of tallying up how much I'm walking. And of course walking Jack, because this walking business started because the vet said that Jack was overweight. So he's lost 1.5 kilos so far. I think from the size of his rump there he could probably lose a wee bit more, but anyway. Jack, come back up here. Come on. Over here, just want to show everyone this. This is a very ancient drain here, look at this. You see how it's built with stones? And how well it functions. So this is draining water, which is very clear, beautiful water actually, from the hill up here. So, I mean, you know, the people long ago, you know, probably several hundred years ago at least, had very little in their lives, but they were so caring of the land, you know, to be able to build these beautiful little drains. I mean, look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So, and of course it carries the water down here. Look, you see, there's the little ditch. It carries it away very nicely until it gets about halfway down this road, and then it goes underneath the road in a big stone drain. You just hear it running, and off into a little stream, which again feeds into the River Fairish. So all the water from Ballyfermoyle goes towards the River Fairish. More buttercups. Meadowsweet. Now, that looks like ash, which of course has got the Chalara, that's dying. I've noticed that some of the ash on my land that was dying is coming back. Well, at least fighting to come back. Keeps putting out new growth, that's a good sign. I've also noticed that the wisteria, which you know I said had died, but I was going to leave it and see what happened, it's got new buds. I mean, I'm just delighted about that, you know. Now I wonder if Tom Kelly's cows are still down on this field, because over the past couple of days walking Jack, Tom has put his cows out on one of his fields where the grass has grown very lush. And you know what I love about this little herd of cattle? Tom has kept the calves with their mothers, and it's such a joy to see. And this is one of the reasons why I took a fancy to shooting a video down this way, you know, just to show you this. Jack, come on, you nosy Parker. So, where do you see this lovely group of cows? Mothers and babies all together. Sorry, there's a bit of a squeaky noise. This is my rain jacket that I have on because there's rain threatened. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, I don't want their milk, and I don't want to see them killed for meat. Their milk is for their babies. And look at the defiant look on their faces. Look, the mummies are saying, don't you dare come near my baby. Look at that face on her. Look, and there's all the babies staying close with their mummies. Look. Oh, it's all right. I'm not going to be bothering you babies. There's quite an older calf there, look. But these little calves here, aren't they gorgeous? Look at the wee white one behind. And the mummies are fiercely guarding them. They're quite young mothers as well by the look of them. Look at them. They're saying, don't you dare come near. And of course there's some of the other mummies. It looks as though the older mummies have gone up that way and left these two young mums with all the babies. They're operating a little crash system. There's a beautiful black and white and grey one up here. Where do you see this one? She's an absolute beauty. And of course the pasture is very lush. It's very gorgeous for them. I see the goddess in these animals, especially the mothers. Of course, in most of the real world, the calves are taken off their mothers as soon as they're born, and then human beings drink the cow's milk. Strange thing to do, really. But look at this beautiful black and white one. Look at her. Now she looks to have a pretty full udder there, so I'd say that the calves will be coming up soon for their food. I think she's got two calves. Look, isn't she gorgeous? I'm just going to be close up of her. Isn't she a beaut? And of course Tom has sort of fenced off part of the field here so they don't graze all of it. So there's fresh grass for them. Now look, here's the rest of them all coming up. I think it's feeding time for them. Bless them. There's the younger mothers just guiding the little herd up. Look at that. Aren't they lovely? Of course, here in the west of Ireland, you know, the cows are out all the time, and don't have too many dairy herds in the west of Ireland, so I applaud Tom for leaving the babies with the mothers. It's beautiful. Beautiful sight to see. Little herd. Now look, there's the black and white one. She's having a wee look over at Jack, just weighing up the scene. Of course, Jack's here just beside me. There's one of the wee babies, look, coming a bit closer. And there's the mummy saying, no, you don't go any closer. You stay here. No, I'm going to walk on because I don't want that wee baby falling into the ditch out of curiosity. I'll feel quite culpable if that happens. Right, so I'm going to finish now, and I'll upload this as soon as I get back. So blessings to you all on this beautiful afternoon.